Whenever the Cowboys play the Giants, it is a heavyweight fight. This was a total knockout. What impressed you most?
Just the discipline of our team, getting up early, staying committed to it, not getting ahead of ourselves. All three phases. I don't know really what I have this for. I think this belongs to the defense. These guys, offensive line, made it easy, a fun game, way to start this season off.
It sucks, but sometimes you need an opening like this. You never want it to be this way, 40-0 home to Dallas, but we got to hold each other a little more accountable. And that starts with meetings on Monday and then coming to practice, raising level and pushing each other.
Were you lobbying the coaches at the end to stay in the game? I don't know if there was any conversation about taking you out.
No, I mean, I wanted to stay in, and yeah, there wasn't any conversation about it.
Michael, do you know that you have never seen an ass whipping like you saw last night? Did you know that? Did you know, like, literally, that was unprecedented. Never. Statistically, that's unprecedented. Great. No team has ever, this is according to the Athletic, no team has ever lost 40-0 or worse, lost the sack battle 7-0 or worse, lost the turnover battle 3-0 or worse, had a blocked field goal return for a touchdown, and threw a pick six in a single season. In a season. All of that happened to the Giants last night. And to make matters worse, it was against the Cowboys, it was at home, and it was on national television. And all I could think about was, neither one of them two fools on Brother from Another has sense enough to pick the Cowboys to come out of the NFC East. And so I said to myself, okay, let me ask Michael, because you got the Eagles going back to the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
All right. You got the Eagles going back. Okay. I got the Niners going to the Super Bowl. And you know I had a lot of fun at the expense of the Cowboys last year.
How could you not?
Infamous final play with Ezekiel Elliott at center. But I still don't think the Cowboys have anything from San Francisco. Am I sleeping? Am I sleeping on the Cowboys? Am I disrespecting Dallas?
Well, you know what? It's and there are worse things to do, because what most people do with America's team, a lot of people love them, a lot of people hate them.
There's
a lot
extremes.
of people mock them. You know, they mock the Cowboys. All you're doing, you're not mocking them. You're just saying, from a football perspective, if you look at offense, defense, special teams, coaching, intangibles.
Well, a lot of people do that mocking.
You like the Niners.
That mocking you're talking about, a lot of people just do that for attention. Because the Cowboys, you know, they're a brand. So people just do it for attention. Just to get clicks and eyeballs and whatnot.
What did Robert Saleh say? What did Robert Saleh say about people, you know, if they ain't talking about you, if they ain't hating on you, you ain't popping or something like that? Remember his little line? So the
it wasn't Robert Saleh, but yes. I mean, Robert Saleh said it, but yeah, exactly.
He quoted. Yeah, I know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I know.
Okay.
It was just funny.
That sounded real old. What did Robert Saleh say?
No, it's funny. It was funny because it was coming from him.
Kadarius Toney, catch the football. Catch the football. Stop, you know, Kadarius Toney, Kadarius Toney and the Giants, they're like exes that just, like, leave them Giants fans, like, leave them alone. Like, you got your own problems, Kadarius Toney. But go ahead. Yeah. You were saying, Michael, go ahead.
No, I just funny. I didn't think he had that in his bag, and so it was just really funny hearing it come from him. But I would say this. Yeah. Look, there are always going to be people who have something to say about the Cowboys, and the Cowboys don't get the benefit of the doubt. You know what the Cowboys miss? Just good, sober analysis, because everybody is so extreme with them. Their fans think they could do no wrong. Their haters don't dismiss everything they do. So if they shut somebody down 40-0, it's like, oh, it's the Cowboys, whatever. They'll disappoint you in the end. So whereas, and I'm not going to turn this into a rant on San Francisco. We'll talk about them later. Whereas San Francisco can go into Pittsburgh and give up a touchdown and score 30 points and win 30-7, they'll get, they're ready to play. The Cowboys doing all the things that you pointed out, a shutout against a divisional opponent. Against a divisional opponent, the opponent who probably knows you best.
A playoff team from a year ago.
Listen, I'm not shrugging.
I'm not. No, that's not a shrug. No, that's not a shrug. That's not a shrug.
I think they
I'm
do.
sorry. Did that come off as a shrug by me?
No, you
did that come off as a shrug?
No, it didn't.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying what I'm doing. I'm
Okay.
not shrugging. I'm telling you, I disagree with you. I think the Cowboys have something for Philadelphia. I think the Cowboys have something for San Francisco. I don't believe by any stretch that those teams are playing on a different level than the Cowboys. The Niners beat them last year in the playoffs, but it's not like Dallas didn't have opportunities, and they will have opportunities this year. I look forward to it. Happy to see the Cowboys doing this. Happy to see my man, Mike McCarthy, in his first game as a play caller in Dallas, getting a resounding game ball.
Yeah, no.
Give me a game
Mike
ball.
Needed that.
Mike McCarthy.
Mike needed that because if Mike don't get it done this year, Jerry might be calling his old friend Deion Sanders. I'll get to that later on. But in terms of Mike McCarthy's job was also made significantly and exponentially easier in terms of play calling because of the job that Dan Quinn is doing calling and coaching the Dallas modern-day doomsday defense. They had a doomsday in the early 70s. They had a doomsday 2 in the late 70s. I don't know if they've had a doomsday 3 or not yet. If not, this is it. And maybe I'm late to that party. Maybe they've been calling it that for the last several years that Dan Quinn has been running his defense, led by Micah Parsons and Trayvon Diggs and company. But really the question with Dallas, everybody knows that defense could play. They're a far more physical team than they have been. The question with, traditionally speaking, at least in the Romo years, right? Or the early Dak years. The question with Dallas is simply McCarthy, but more Dak than McCarthy. Is Dak that dude to get Dallas, to its destination, to its ideal destination? If the defense is gonna play like that, he doesn't have to be. And maybe the team is just now to a point. But they got it. But the problem is, I think they got to play like that. I know Dak says his confidence is at an all-time high. His comfort in the offense is at an all-time high. He got Brandon Cooks and Tony Pollard, if he's healthy, is a nice weapon. And CeeDee Lamb is a number one. I'm still not convinced, and I certainly didn't see it last night. And they only had one game to show it. It's one game. I get it. Long season, we'll see. I'm still not convinced that when it comes down to it, Dak can win a game for Dallas. We know he can lose a game, but I don't know that he can be the reason for Dallas, which is really, to me, the difference between Dallas and everybody else. What? Have you seen him? Have you seen him be the reason why Dallas goes deep into the playoffs?
You said win a game and win a game. And
not win a game. No, not win a game.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry. I'm talking about the games that matter. Because we know Dallas can win in the regular season. I'm talking about the games that they're playing for. It's desired destination, as I said.
Well, you know what? It's too bad. Like, it's crazy.
And I'm not shitting on Dak. No, I'm not shitting on Dak.
Don't even start.
I'm going to cut you off before you get there.
Hey, Gary.
I'm cutting this off at the pass.
No, don't do this.
That's not what
Gary,
I'm doing.
Can we do this? Gary, can we do this? Can we do this for the second time this week? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You are.
No, I'm not. I love Dak. I like Dak Prescott. I like everything he stands for. He's a man of the year. I love everything he stands for. And I would be more than happy if he were my quarterback, given the quarterbacks that other people have to suffer through in many respects. But I don't know. I don't have the type of trust in Dak Prescott.
It's just so.
It's backhanded. It's backhanded.
You know what happens?
Look, Deion. You know what happens? Deion, it ain't my job to believe, Deion. I took this job not to be a believer. I didn't take this job to be a cheerleader. I'm a skeptic by nature.
I just want to point out. I want to point out what's happening. There's a college basketball thing that happens to NFL quarterbacks like Dak Prescott.
College basketball.
Doesn't happen to the
like a Final Four thing, like with Dean Smith. He can get you to the Final Four but not win it type thing.
Or no, I was going to say no. The more you hang around, the more people pick you apart. Now, that didn't happen to the elites. Didn't happen to Brady. But so the more they see you, the fresh face gets credit. Mm-hmm. So, for example, let me just point out, I can't help it. Yeah. I'm obsessed. I'm going to diagnose myself. I'm obsessed.
No, not yet. Not yet. We're not there yet. We're not there yet. Make a different point.
Make a different point. No,
because you're still. Okay, go ahead.
I'm not going to go there.
My faith in who? My faith in who?
I'm not going to park there. I'm going to drive by.
It's going to pass through.
It's just
We're going to pass around there.
I'm just driving.
There.
I ain't even driving.
Yeah.
I ain't even driving slowly either. I'm going.
Gotcha.
I'm going the speed limit.
All right.
So,
Okay.
Dak
I know where you're
Prescott
going.
who has accomplished something in this league, who's actually a Pro Bowl quarterback, who is actually, thrown for like thousands of yards in a season and multiple touchdowns and big contracts and other stuff. He is, is Dak that dude? Then somebody who's been here for like a day or two, happens to not be there for his team at the most important time.
Wait. Not be there? Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you.
I'm hating today. I'm hating. Okay.
Really?
I brought the hate.
You still?
I brought the hate.
Still?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Even though.
For those of y'all who are new to this madness, the person that Michael was referring to is my man crush Brock Purdy. But Nick Bosa, highest paid defensive player ever, he had words for people like you yesterday, Michael.
Purdy shut some haters up, so it's nice to be on a really good team. I think whenever a guy comes back from an injury and people kind of give him, they don't expect him to make another leap in the second year. I'm just happy for him. He's exactly who we thought he was.
He didn't see. Nick Bosa. What you fail to understand is that certain haters just will not shut up. In fact, they just decided to just double down, despite evidence to the contrary. So there were two people yesterday who the week one win cannot be overstated because of where and against whom that victory took place. One was Jordan Love in Soldier Field against Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears, all right? Couldn't have picked a better script for that. The other one was my guy, Brock Purdy, going against the team of your childhood, the team of your youth, the Steelers, okay? Growing up in Northeast Ohio, rooting for the Steelers, and Black America's coach, Mike Tomlin, okay?
Yes.
Going into Pittsburgh, everybody was on that Pittsburgh bandwagon. Everybody was waving their terrible towels, me included. But I knew better for week one. That San Francisco is a different beast altogether. And my QB, according to NFL research, here's another stat for you. Brock Purdy became the first quarterback in NFL history to win his first 6 regular season starts and throw at least 2 touchdown passes in each game. He's also the first quarterback to post a passer rating of 95 or better in each of his first 6 regular season starts. All I'm trying to figure out, my guy, is what's it going to take? What's it going to take?
Okay.
What's it going to take for you to acknowledge what happened was a miracle, and I want you to effing acknowledge it. What is it going to take for you to acknowledge that boy can play?
He can't play. And San Francisco is a really good team, and that was an impressive win yesterday by the 49ers. So all the things you say about Brock Purdy are true. He is a legit NFL quarterback. All these things. Forget about draft position. It doesn't matter right now. He played at Iowa State. It doesn't matter. All that stuff. But I'm going to tell you what annoys me. And see, Brock Purdy, it's not about you, Brock. You just got caught up.
It's about people like me.
It's not that he created. No,
right.
He got caught up. I haven't heard him do it. I'm more protesting against these 49er people. 49er people, some of them actually coach and play for the 49ers. And some of them are in the media. And I'm talking about you, Debo.
The propaganda people, 49ers propaganda.
But like Debo. How about Debo? Oh, no question, we were the better team. Oh, if we had the quarterback, we got to get the rules changed. We didn't have a quarterback. Ain't nobody tell you to run off Jimmy Garoppolo the first time. I know he got hurt. Ain't nobody tell you to draft a guy that you didn't that couldn't stay healthy. Ain't nobody tell you to have Josh. Who they have as their backup in the NFC Championship game?
Who's Josh Johnson?
Josh Johnson, 75 years old, backup quarterback. Ain't nobody tell you to do that. It's about team building. It's about roster building. But I don't like how they disrespect other teams and how they pound their chest about how they're the biggest and the baddest and the toughest. As far as I remember,
More often than not, they are.
Last time you won a Super Bowl, I think Steve Young was your quarterback. He on the TV. He on TV. He ain't played football in a long time. So San Francisco, smelling itself a little too much, talking a little too much trash for accomplishing nothing. We ain't talking about the 20th century Niners. We talking about the 21st century, and y'all ain't won nothing. Y'all ain't won nothing. So sit down and show them. I don't care if they win the Super Bowl. They ain't win.
They were just in the Super Bowl a couple years ago.
They blew it.
And you do.
Their coach blew it.
They
like
did.
he always
They
does.
did.
Like he did. He was in a couple Super Bowls.
Okay, there you go.
He blew that one too.
There you go.
He blew that one too.
Let's just get it all out. Let's just get it all out.
28-3. 28-3.
You've been trying to fire Kyle Shanahan for years. You've been
trying to fire him.
one of the best play callers in the league. Problem is he knows it. But
one of the best play callers. Oh no! Okay, give me all the cliches.
No.
One of the best play callers in the league.
Sometimes he
one
gets
of the
cute.
most talented
Sometimes he gets cute.
Super Bowl ready roster. Blah blah. They ain't won nothing. So I hope they don't.
You know what they? I'll tell you what they won. I'll tell you what they won. You know what they won? 30-7. 30-7 against your team yesterday. Okay, 30-7.
Good win.
Way to go.
Good regular season win.
Okay.
I hope Purdy stays. I want him to be upright. I want him to be protected. Put him in bubble wrap. I would like to see him available for the playoffs, and then we can see. But how dare they?
Please.
How dare they? How dare they talk about Philadelphia? They go into Philadelphia, and I heard it this morning. I'm calling you
talking about that.
Sims, hey,
again?
Oh, I tell you who did. Who did? I heard this morning. Sims and Florio today. Florio talking about, it's true that they wouldn't have won the game if Purdy hadn't been hurt. Oh, excuse me? So
why
they're supposed to go into Philly and win?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because they have the most talented roster in football.
I hope it plays out like that this year.
I hope
really
they make it.
I hope it plays out. Yeah.
I hope they get to the championship game.
I hope all of them are healthy.
They get
so there are no excuses on anybody's part.
No excuses.
You know. Again.
Let's see if you get there.
Maybe Dallas would like a word right now. Maybe Dallas would like a word in the NFC. Week 1 was fun. I couldn't wait to rub that in your face. Against your Steelers.
I'll tell you what else was fun. You know what else was fun? The 20th century. 20th century. It's over, though. It's over. It was great fun. It was great fun. Steve Young was awesome. That's your guy.
Yo,
that was your
Giants
guy, right,
that
Steve
bad?
Young?
That's what I forgot to ask. That was my guy. Are the Giants that bad or Dallas that good? Or is it both?
Dallas is that good.
Bro, Tua's a baller, bro. I've been saying this since last year. I've been an advocate, for him. And like he definitely showed it today. Even during halftime, he was able to come in, get guys going a little bit. And even on the sideline with me, he's like, "Hey, Cheetah, let's get it, baby." Big time moment, big time players made big time plays. So he kind of leaned on me a little bit towards the end, and I mean that just means more targets for me though, and I kind of enjoy that. So.
The homie Lawrence Jackson is here to help us overreact and overstate all things week 1. But I don't think it's an overstatement, fellas. Like, Lawrence, I was thinking, and Michael, you'll appreciate this because you stuck with me every day. It's like, if ever there was a living embodiment among NFL quarterbacks, Lawrence, of, as the eagle flies with the dove, if you can't be with the one you loved and love the one you with, like Tua Tagovailoa has gone, we're a long way from, oh man, it was supposed to tank for Joe Burrow, but they ended up taking Tua. And did they take the right one because Justin Herbert went right afterward? And get Deshaun Watson or not, because that's where he wants to go. Oh, wait, they flirted with Tom Brady and they got Dr. Draft pick. It's like they wanted everybody and their mama but Tua Tagovailoa. And after one game, if I was placing a bet right now, Michael's the betting man, Lawrence. If I was a betting man, I'd bet on Tua for MVP right now. I don't know what those odds are, but I'd take them.
Yeah, you would have a good bet there, to be honest. There was points of last season when he got talked about as far as being an MVP, but, he dealt with the concussions and whatnot. And first off, let me just say, Michael, appreciate y'all having me on. And for all the folks out there watching, find me on Twitter, go to the search bar and just type in Tua right there for me, because for me, this is nothing new. We've now seen Tua have 2 games like this, throwing for over 460 yards, right? One time was against Herbert, The other time was against Lamar, and they won both games. So throwing in an MVP ticket right now is definitely a decent choice right now, because before this first game, he was at plus 2,200. Now that thing at 700 now. So you lost a little bit of it, but it's still a solid number. Yeah. In the offense, as you could, like, the Chargers defense got talent. Like, you see him over there, Derwin James, Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack, and them. They couldn't. It was a track meet. Nobody could stop the other guy. So, you know, and the Dolphins couldn't even run the ball at that. So it's just like, yeah, man, I think it's a good ticket.
Are you happy, Michael, for anybody more than you are for Tua? Sorry, Mike.
I am. No, I am happy for him. I'm happy for Tua. That's why my whole theme, Mike, today is just like haters. Even Brock Purdy. I'm happy for Brock Purdy individually until the playoffs, so I can root against him again. I'm rooting for him in the regular season. In the playoffs, I start rooting against him. But Tua has had to hear a lot from people, and I just want to know from you, Lawrence, how far can we take this thing? I mean, is it not? Because right now it's like, oh, look at Tua. It's complimentary, but it's almost like, well, what did you expect me to do? You thought I was going to throw for 175 yards?
Yeah,
with Tyreek
right.
Hill and Jalen Waddle? When do we get to the point of Tua, or do we get to the point of Tua being in the same level as Burrow and Herbert?
We should already be there. To be quite honest, he's a better quarterback than Justin Herbert. Like, that part has already been solidified for me.
Whoa.
You can't.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Hold
That's
really?
easy money for me. And if we watching yesterday's game, not about to tell me Justin Herbert better than Tua. Ain't no way, no how. In fact, the Chargers is lucky they ran the ball as well as they did, or the game wouldn't even been close. But the Dolphins defense was kind of weak up against the run. Like, nah, man, it's always been Tua over Herbert for me. Tua just had to get healthy, get a little bit of offensive line, get some actual receivers. When Tyreek Hill got traded to the Dolphins, people was like, oh, he going from Patrick Mahomes to Tua Tagovailoa.
Yeah.
I'm like,
people,
hold on. Now you see what he did on his last drive. All you got to do is think back to 2018 as a true freshman when he came off the bench for Jalen Hurts in the national championship. True freshman, end up being the game MVP. I said, that little boy right there, he got it. Been following him ever since, and now I'm happy to see him healthy. Hopefully he stay healthy. But yeah, get like, as far as like the tiers, like, give me Tua above Justin Herbert, easy.
See, what Lawrence is basically telling y'all is, y'all new to this, I've been true to this. But I want to talk about Joe Burrow, though. I want to talk about Joe Burrow, though, because, like, so Michael and I both picked the Bengals to reach the Super Bowl. I got them going. He's got them winning the Super Bowl. Thankfully, they don't give out the trophies after week one. So Burrow looked rusty. He looked bad. The whole offense looked bad.
Right.
And in true Michael Holley fashion, Jamar Chase, he couldn't give credit to the Browns without shading them even more. Is Jamar Chase.
It's frustrating because I called their ass elves and we just lost to some elves, so I'm pissed on my part. I'm pissed on that, and like I said, man, we got missed opportunities. We didn't capitalize on that, and we lost. So that's how we lost.
See, Jamar don't understand, like, elves, he must have done his research, because elves could be evil. Elves could cause a lot of trouble if you pick on the wrong elves. And so these Browns, man, they look different, man. They look like they were, I mean, we don't talk about their defense. We talk so much about Deshaun and Nick Chubb and opening up the offense, and their defense has let them down over the years. But Jim Schwartz is calling that defense now, Lawrence. And he got Myles Garrett playing mind games, playing Jedi mind tricks at the line of scrimmage, man. Like, that division coming into the season, Baltimore, who I'm always a big fan of. I know you're a Lamar Jackson guy. People had a lot of praise for Pittsburgh after the preseason. Hell, obviously Cincinnati has been the class the last couple of years. Yo, can the Browns win this division after what you saw them do to Cincinnati week one, Lawrence?
Yeah, they certainly can win the division. I actually got them going to the playoffs this season. And I was not one who was hopeful for Pittsburgh after the preseason, although they stay well coached. We do know that. But the Cleveland Browns, man, you just talked about their defense, right? And you mentioned Myles Garrett. He's the only returning starter from the defensive line. That's what people not really realizing in the midst of mentioning
a lot of money into that.
Right. And that includes Shedeur Smith, who's still playing at a high level. And like you said, a lot of mention goes to how Deshaun Watson was rusty last year and how the offense is new, but the team is stacked. Like, you look at it, offensive line, good. Defensive line, good. Linebackers is okay. Secondary, phenomenal. And you saw that yesterday on Joe Burrow's end, though. For him, and I even say this about Lamar too, Joe Burrow and Lamar, that was their preseason game yesterday because they ain't playing the preseason. So, you know, and Joe Burrow had a horrible week 1 last year. He threw 4 interceptions. So, and then the Bengals start off 0-2. So we ain't gonna put too much stock into that when you've already proven you're a top guy. But the Browns, Bengals, and Ravens, they gonna be ready to duke this out. And even the Steelers, man, when you get these guys division battles, they'll battle as well. They got ran off the field by the Niners, but it's the toughest division in football right now.
You at all concerned? We haven't had a chance as a family to talk about the team from brother from another. The Detroit Lions. Detroit, stand up. They beat Kansas City. Are you at all concerned? I'm not talking about Detroit right now. I'm talking about Kansas City. Some of those receivers look very average. Mike already mentioned it. Kadarius Toney, ball right there in the breadbasket, can't hold on to it. A lot of receivers.
He could post on Instagram, though.
Yeah, he can. Are you concerned about Kansas City at all?
Nah, again, like I said, you know, for guys that have proven themselves, and no one's done that in the NFL more than Patrick Mahomes, you know, we'll get a little bit of leeway. Like, I didn't even feel like the Lions played well. Neither team played well, but one thing is true. The Chiefs definitely was missing Chris Jones there. The receivers, new and young receivers. It kind of makes you wonder, like, man, Juju was pretty good for the Chiefs last season with over 900 yards. But, yeah, they're trying to figure out, like, who going to be – we know what Travis Kelce going to do, and obviously that was a big miss for them. But they still trying to figure out who's going to be that at least serviceable top wide receiver 1. And out of Kadarius Toney and Justin Ross and Sky Moore and Rashee Rice, it's a lot of talent. Somebody got to step up to be at least okay. Because if you could get one of these guys to be okay, well, then they could play with Travis Kelce there. So, no, I'm not worried about the Kansas City Chiefs yet at all. As long as they got number 15, they in it.
Well, I mean, we knew the AFC was deep. It might be a little more wide open than we thought. But again, it is week 1. I got to keep telling myself it's week 1. But that's what's fun. It's fun to react to week 1. It's a national holiday in and of itself. But I'm gonna tell you, man, one person who I won't call an overreaction in his performance, because I was a believer, but even still, not as much of a believer as I know you to be, Lawrence, and that's in Anthony Richardson. And I was saying this a lot, like, for all the talk about him being raw and inexperienced and needing reps, if you paid attention to his progression at Florida that one season, he got better the more he played. He's studious, he's conscientious, he's diligent, he works hard, and he processes well. Like, he gets it, he's cerebral. You know, people talk about his physical skills. He is a cerebral guy that learns from his mistakes. He's not a repeat offender. Seeing him go out there and put up an unprecedented stat line, first rookie QB with 200 or more passing yards, 40 or more rushing yards, a passing touchdown and a rushing touchdown in his first game, but really just, you know, be accurate. Not perfect, but be accurate and be poised and competent and capable and composed as a passer. That was really encouraging. I got all the top 3. They all had some growing pains and will have some growing pains. The top 3 QBs in the draft, to me, he was far and away the better guy between him, Stroud, and Young.
Yeah, definitely. And it was definitely encouraging to see, especially since they don't have Jonathan Taylor, man. I'm watching that game yesterday, man, and I'm just like, man, I wish they had Jonathan Taylor, because the Jags was not respecting the run at all. Like any non-quarterback runs, the Jaguars was not respecting that. Like, and you know, I mean, no disrespect, but Deion Jackson wasn't helping them out. Lost the fumble, dropped the pass here and there, and they just couldn't get anything going. The rookie, Evan Hull, who got in there and had a decent run, once they let him in, he ended up getting hurt. And I feel like they was going to go with him after that run, but then he got hurt, man. But all in all, man, it was definitely encouraging, definitely something for him to build on. It would be nice if we could get a little more consistency out of a receiver outside of Michael Pittman Jr.
Yeah.
But for what all it's worth, man, it was a good spot. A lot of his doubters in the draft process will point to his completion percentage, which was under 54% at Florida. But if you watched Florida play Utah in week 1 of college football, that was the team he played on last year, and they beat Utah when Anthony Richardson was with him. You see, people don't put 2 and 2 together. His first NFL game.
They put 2 and 2 together. They just moved the goalposts.
Move the goalposts. Goalposts be all crossed up now. You know what I'm saying? But first NFL game, he throws 37 passes and completes 65% of those. For some reason, people thought this dude was coming into the NFL to some quote-unquote run-heavy offense. Like, baby, this the NFL. You throwing the ball, and this guy could do it. They thinking this guy gonna be throwing it 13 times a game and running it 13 times a game. Nah, running is that's an extra gift that we have, man. But I'll say this too: the Colts defense stepped up a lot, and that's what helped him. That helped them a lot as well.
He was in a neutral game script. Yeah, no, that was
so if you
real
can
good
get
for him.
that running game, Leonard Fournette. If Jonathan Taylor don't come back, man, holla at the Colts, man. You know, so they get that running game going. It's going up for him.
Lawrence Jackson, we holler at you later, man. Thank you so much for falling through in regular season form.
Appreciate y'all having me.
And the reason it's so personal to me is they said something about my kids. You think I'm gonna let them talk about y'all and they ain't gonna be personal? You think I'm gonna let them doubt y'all and they ain't gonna be personal? You think I'm gonna let them naysay y'all and they ain't gonna get personal? You think I'm gonna let them say all the stuff that they said and that we don't have and we prove that we have it, and even when we prove that we had it, they said it wasn't real. Therefore, guess what? I respect the head coach a lot. He said some things. He tried to back off of it. But it's too late because it's
The coach said a lot of things about my pops, about the program, but now that he want to act nice, I don't respect that, because you hating on another man, you shouldn't do that. So it was just, all respect was gone for them in their program. Now, I like playing against their DC. I like playing against them, but the respect level, it ain't there because you disrespected us first.
I was guilty of disrespecting Deion too. Before we start talking about all the things Deion and Colorado are doing right, I gotta admit a wrong. So, remember when he first left Jackson State? And I was expressing my disappointment because I said back then, I thought his brand at Jackson State was their ice ain't colder. Mm-hmm. So I misunderstood. And then I said, if I recall correctly, I said something to the effect of, if he goes, now that he's going to a Power 5 school, now he's going to a school like Colorado, he becomes just another coach.
Oops.
I mean, come on.
Oops.
Like, I mean,
you want that, back?
Yeah. I mean, you know, he loved to have that play back. Look, man, I've been watching
Some
Deion
plays are better than others.
Since he was at Florida State. I wanted to go to Florida State because of Deion Sanders. I got half a dozen Deion Sanders T-shirts in my closet. I watched him with the Braves. I watched him with the Yankees. I watched him with the Falcons and the Cowboys and the Niners. I ain't a damn thing about Deion Sanders in any walk of life that he has chosen like anybody else. Shame on me. He may be a Power 5 coach, but Abel won Deion Sanders and we're seeing it every Saturday.
Thank you. Yes.
You know,
yes.
Abel one dude walking around with armor bearers. They're like his security. No, that ain't security. That's armor bearers. talk about F around and find out. Okay. Abel, don't nobody move like this dude. Nobody moved on the field like him. Nobody moved on the field like him. Nobody moved on the diamond like him. Nobody moves in life like Deion Sanders. I apologize. Go ahead, Michael.
Yeah. He don't. You know, they asked.
You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? Them armor bearers.
Exactly.
You know what I'm talking about? Them armor bearers. They don't need heat. They don't need heat.
That's right.
They got smoke nonetheless.
They be like, "Hey, where's Coach Sanders for the press conference?" Well, he's in the pastor's study right now. He'll be with you in a second. I mean, like everything with Deion is just different. Look, you know, with college football, my heart is with the Buckeyes, but my attention, my mind is on the Colorado Buffaloes. I've been paying attention to them. I said last week, I know their schedule. I pretty much know their schedule by heart because I've been paying attention to them. I know they have.
You got Oregon, and then you got Caleb Williams circled for that USC matchup, him and Shedeur Sanders.
I know they got they in non-conference. They got Colorado State next week. Got to be pay attention, be humble in victory. You know, don't disrespect the opponent. I think last game of the regular season, I think it's against Utah. Like I've been paying attention to them. Deion Sanders is such a compelling figure. He's so good for college football. He's so good for business. He's so good for media purposes. He is really changing the game right before us. It is changing. Now, I don't know how far he's going to go with it, but nobody's like Deion Sanders. There's no coach in college football who he reminds me of.
Did you see the people at the game? Like you talk about bring them out. This dude had not everybody in their mama. He had Wu-Tang. He had the Wu-Tang clan at the game.
Hold on. No, how about this? He ain't got everybody in their mama. He got everybody in their grandmama and their great-grandma. Because how about him dancing with the 98-year-old woman, had her saying,
talking about give me my theme music.
Give me my theme music. I mean, like, this is great. And it's so good.
This is the show.
It's so good for not just college football. It's good for sports. It's just good to see this story unfolding because we don't know where it's going to go. I don't know. Like Deion, would I be surprised if they go to a bowl? No. Would I be surprised if they wind up 500? I wouldn't be surprised with that either. I just don't know. It's creative, unpredictable weekly drama. He's the main character of it, and I know that throws some other coaches off because they say it's all about the kids, even though they don't believe it. Deion says it's all about the kids. I think he does believe it, but we are guilty of just paying attention to him because we can't help it.
Well, but I said this in passing, talking about all right, where it goes. Who knows where it goes? I said this in passing earlier, but it's just like he got to be going to the NFL. Like, I mean, not to say that he won't, because he clearly. So there's the bravado, there's the style, there's the press conference, like there's the give me my theme music, there's the pitch man, there's the guy that could sell water to a well or a whale, whichever you prefer. There's that guy that could recruit. But then there's a guy that clearly, obviously, knows what he's doing when it comes to establishing a winning culture and infrastructure. We know he won at Jackson State. This team won one game last year. He's doubled that in 2 games. They won 1 game last year. Like, he's not just he clearly is not just a figurehead. I'm sorry. It can't be, oh, he's got good coordinators, or he got good players. Because it can't be both. It can't be, well, college football is all about just getting good players. Who's got the best players? He got a shit ton of transfers. He got 11 transfers, literally. Transfer students doing this. You know, he ain't turned it over that much to be winning like this. And I know it's only 2 games, and there's still room for that. I said even last week, I hope that his mouth doesn't write a check that his players can't cash. I hope not, because again, they're going to be circled on everybody's schedule. And are they this good? You play who you play, and they 2-0. That's all I know. And they beat the brakes off of Nebraska. That's all I know. You know, and so there's something to his coaching acumen. You know, not just the character, but his coaching acumen that I would like to think would attract NFL owners, unless they're threatened by him being the show. But if they want to make money, if you're in it to make money, and it's a bottom line business, and you're in it to make money, this dude, I said this last week, I know you said it as well, but we ain't said it to each other. This dude making a lot of people a lot of money. They got 2 networks taking their pregame show to Colorado next week. He's making a lot of people a lot of money.
Okay, but is it okay? Because I think it is. I'm just going to ask you this question. I don't know where you stand on it, because I know we kind of went in different directions on the Jackson State thing. He got a lot of criticism for leaving Jackson. I didn't think he deserved it. I thought he was well within his rights to leave. Never thought he would be there for the rest of his coaching career. But is it okay if Deion Sanders, great for college football, great for Colorado right now, is it okay if he's in it for the money? Is that all right? That, you know, everybody else is making money. It's okay?
Yeah.
Okay, that's all right. So that's not...
I can't keep track of what conference anybody's in. Hell yes. And if he decide, if he went...
If he needs to leave after a couple years.
And him and Shedeur, or after this year, if him and Shedeur wreck shop for 1 year, and he put Shedeur in the first round, and some organization, I'm spitballing here, some organization was like, yo, we bringing Deion Sanders in to be our coach, and we drafted Shedeur Sanders, and we want the primetime show, okay? If some organization decided to do that, or if some organization that Caleb Williams is skeptical about, I don't know, about going to, and a condition is either Lincoln Riley or Deion Sanders, I don't know. I'm talking out of my ass, which how is that different than any other day, Michael? I know, but I'm saying, absolutely it'd be fine if he left. Again, and just to go back to the Jackson State thing momentarily, the difference for me would be, A, okay, now I know what it is. B, it's different leaving Colorado. He doesn't have the same connection to Colorado that he obviously does, and that I thought he did to an HBCU, or for that matter, if he'd have been at a Florida State. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, absolutely. Everybody get in the bag. Get his. I never begrudged him for getting his. It's just not what I thought it was, and that's on me. But I don't want to unpack that all over again. But yes, to your point, be in it for the money. And he's underpaid. Yeah, he's underpaid.
I was going to say, I hesitate to say that Deion Sanders can't do something, because he's, as you pointed out,
I won't.
He's played multiple sports. He's played multiple positions
on the same day.
He has, so he has won at Jackson State. He is on a path to winning at Colorado, which is one of the worst programs in college football, like the last dozen years. You and I both know Ted Johnson.
He ain't go just anywhere.
Colorado Buffalo. Ted Johnson said, I'm the most excited I've been. I'm the most excited I've been in like 18 years. Mm-hmm. He said, I'm really excited about this. Deion has reached out to all the Buffs who are in the NFL, who have played in the NFL, just kind of re-energizing them, bringing them back into the program, making them feel wanted, and letting them weigh in and witness all of this. So it really has got the program to a point that it hasn't been at in a long time. But when I say hesitate, I'm not hesitating. I'm going to say it. Does this work in the NFL? His style works.
But I would love to find out.
Works, but
I don't know.
Does the Deion Sanders influence affect wins? If you put who's the worst team in it? Who's the worst team in football right now? Who do you think the worst team in football is? Who do you think? Arizona?
I would have said that, but they gave Washington a tough time yesterday. So I don't know if it's Arizona.
Well, I mean,
we think it's Arizona.
It's Washington. All right, so it's Washington. But look at Arizona. Does Deion Sanders? We think Arizona might win 4 games this year, maybe 3 or 4 games. Does Sanders go into Arizona? Could he take this act there, and all of a sudden they win 9? Because of the Deion energy, the Deion charisma, the Deion effect.
So it's two
Wow.
things. You and
You
I
think
both
so?
know all professional players care about. Doesn't matter how old you are, how young you are, where you come from. It's can you make them better? It's a credibility thing. And it's somebody who understands how to relate to players. Juxtapose him with an Urban Meyer. Would he work on an NFL level? I believe he would. I don't know. I haven't seen it, but I believe he would because he comes with a cachet and a credibility that resonates with contemporary players.
Yeah.
It's like Michael Jordan. It's like they still worship this dude, even if most of them are too young to have seen him actually play. They still idolize him. So there's a credibility that he instantly brings as a Hall of Famer, as one of the greatest, if not the greatest, cover corner of all time. And like I said, he seems to know what he's doing, and he's also not going to treat them like boys. He's going to treat them like men. You know what? I don't know if you can say this quickly, because I'm just looking at the clock, and there's another story that I want to get to after our last break. I wanted to make a hard turn and not juxtapose, sorry, that's the wrong phrase. I used that a second ago. I wanted to make a hard turn and talk about this Mel Tucker mess at Michigan State.
Can I say it quickly? No.
Well, and that's why I think we would do ourselves and the story a disservice to try to jam it in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Story.
I think it really was.
No, I agree.
It's not a quick story.
No, it's not quick.
So it's a tough day to try to do it. NFL talked about Deion. I think we should go ahead and take this break because I really want to give Coco Gauff her flowers. I know you do too. Before the show ends. Okay. The Mel Tucker situation is going to be ongoing. I will say one thing quick. It reeks of CYA on the part of Michigan State. So this investigation's been done since the summer. And it's
is that?
New information. Okay, great.
That?
New information came to light. You mean the USA Today report came to light? I hate it when they do this. I hate it when why does every university keep doing it? Why does every institution keep doing it? You cover it up and you cover it up and you cover it up and you keep it under wraps and try to we put measures in place and we're going through the process. And then as soon as somebody blows the lid off your cover, you're like, oh, he's suspended without pay. Guilty or innocent? Like Michigan State, why do you keep screwing this up when it comes to this specific subject? I'm sorry, I said I wasn't gonna get into it. I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself. That pissed me off.
That's right.
Awful story. If the accusations are true, god awful. But Michigan State, you could have handled this a long time ago.
Honestly, thank you to the people who didn't believe in me. Like a month ago, I won a 500 title, and people said I would stop at that. 2 weeks ago, I won a 1,000 title, and people were saying that was the biggest it was going to get. So 3 weeks later, I'm here with this trophy right now. I tried my best to carry this with grace, and I've been doing my best. So honestly, to those who thought who were putting water on my fire, you're really adding gas to it. And now I'm really burning so bright right now.
Have you stopped crying yet over Coco Gauff? Those images of that little girl dancing in the stands and her parents and oh my God. I've been a mess since she won the U.S. Open. What about you?
Yeah, I'm a crybaby. I didn't cry over this. I haven't cried. I don't know her. I'm just proud. I'm just proud of her. And I just think about this, just the little things here. You talk about the girl in the stands. You talk about her being 19 and being the youngest since Serena to win it. But how about it happened at Arthur Ashe Stadium? It happened at Arthur Ashe Stadium in New York. So it's just the continuation. I mean, this is a big deal. I'm just really happy. And it really, doesn't it just wrap up the theme of today? And I don't know why that does it for us. It does it for so many people. Well, my theme at least, like you're letting your haters be your elevators, you know? So whether it's Brock Purdy or the Cowboys or Deion Sanders or Coco Gauff. And why is that? Why does that do it for us so much? Where she said, "I thank you to the people who don't believe, who didn't believe in me." Why does that get us going? Are you like that too? Are you more inspired? Are you more inspired
or to prove people right that did believe in you? You know, It's a good question. The older I get, I just tune it all out. I'm just flattered when anybody pays enough attention to me to either believe in me or doubt me at this point. Whatever you want to give me, I'll take it. You know, irrelevance is the enemy, as I was once told. Nobody owes it to you to believe in you. That's not their job to believe in you. It's your job to believe in yourself. And I commend their parents, Corey and Candy, for the young woman that they raise. I don't watch anything or consume anything outside, and I know you're the same way, outside of the prism of being a parent. So I saw my 17-year-old daughter. I'm sure you saw Ava. You know, it was powerful just to see whatever values, whatever beliefs, whatever they poured into her, to see that result, to see that dream come true for their family and her circle. And it's just the beginning. It's just the beginning. First of many. She's a great ambassador for the sport. She's a great face of the sport. That was a highlight of my weekend, sports-wise.
It was.
On week one of the NFL season, it was Coco Gauff.
And to see her gain that confidence too. Gain that confidence by accomplishing something that she even said today still doesn't feel real to me. But she's a Grand Slam champion. Shout out Coco Gauff. Great stuff. Great moment. Hey, thank you for watching Brother from Another. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, go ahead and do that now. Don't forget you can catch us 3 to 4 weekdays on PeacockTV.com and on Sirius XM Channel 85.